Welcome! I am the Kaiju no Kami, and this is my Quickie review of Halloween 2018. Not 2006 and not 1978. Halloween is the sequel to Halloween. Has nothing to do with any of the other sequels that came out after it. Halloween 2 doesn't exist, which means Laurie Strode has no relation to Michael Myers whatsoever, and thank the gods for that. Don't get me wrong, some of those movies were quite enjoyable, and they really did some interesting stuff with the fact that Laurie was Michael's sibling. But after a while, it gets boring because it's been done to death. They do it over and over, and there's nothing new that you can do about it. Here, because they erased that whole thing and they even make a joke about it, it is done with such brilliance. Jamie Lee Curtis clearly loved what she was doing in this film, as she does an exceptional job at her character, even more convincing with the post-traumatic stress syndrome than she did in H2O. Yeah, she did a fine job in H2O, but I felt like she was kind of in that movie just doing it because she was getting a paycheck, and because they were like, well, we want to do a 20th anniversary thing, and she said, okay. Here, it really feels like she had a passion for what she was doing. The stuff John Carpenter had involved in, he clearly was passionate about doing it, because this movie shows that if you are passionate about what you are working on, it will be done right. No, it does not top Halloween. Halloween is way up here as being my second favorite horror movie of all time, and Halloween 3 is right in my bottom 10. As such, I will say this is the third best Halloween movie, just because there are some things in Halloween 3 I do like done better there than in here. That does not take anything away from this movie though. You might be saying, well, being the second best sequel to the Michael Myers movies is not really saying much considering their quality. I get that, but let me tell you, this is such a brilliant horror film. Like, there is so much suspense and tension in this movie. There are little key pieces that have been taken throughout everything in the rest of the franchise. Like, there's a scene that you can tell was kind of taken from H2O, a scene that was kind of taken from Halloween 2. You have the masks from Halloween 3, the witch, skeleton, pumpkin mask. That's pretty cool. Aspects taken from Halloween 4, Halloween 5, just all blended together to make one solid movie. And it is beautifully shot at times. Like, there's one scene where Michael is going on this little killing spree, and the camera is just following him around from behind his back as he's going through like a house to outside, around. It is amazing. In one part, it feels like you're following him as if you were playing him as a video game. It's superbly shot. It really felt like he was a continuation of the Michael Myers that was portrayed in the original film. He's not humanized like he was in that film. Yeah, we do see him as a man without his mask, although we never actually see his face. But when he's got that mask on, he embodies the Michael Myers that Loomis was scared of. The man who is actually a supernatural creature, not a man. Which is how it should be. Not every serial killer, not every movie monster needs a tragic backstory, needs a reason to be evil. Some people are just born evil. That's how the world works. Not everything has to be because something happened. And this movie does it with such excellence. John Carpenter's soundtrack is intense. There were scenes where the music really got your blood pumping. The opening credits is so well done with this pumpkin that's like squished and rotten that starts reforming as the credits are going on. The new remix version of the Halloween theme is excellent as well. This movie was just simply a love story to the original Halloween while gearing things up for audiences today. It blends the two pieces together because slashers of the 70s and 80s are not the same thing as slashers of the current era. They're two different things. In fact, in some ways, the slashers of the 70s was different than the slashers of the 80s, but this feels like a 70s slasher in the modern day. What's even funny is one of the characters even makes that comment. He says, oh, Michael Myers only killed 5 people, what's the big deal? That's brilliant, because that's exactly it. In the modern day, we look at like death counts as like, if it doesn't have a high death count, it's not worth it. there are people out there that value death count over suspense and terror. The new characters did a really nice job. Judy Greer was a great daughter to Laurie Strode. We also got a girl that played her daughter that did a pretty good job. Then we have some of her friends, which unfortunately most of the friends were there just to die and they're not even really that developed, which is kind of a downside and is something that does follow more modern slashers where we're not developing the characters, they're there just to go. But some of those scenes were done effectively, like one of the friends with this whole babysitting bit. That was a well done scene and one of the best scenes of the movie. The final confrontation, though, is really, really intense. In this spot, it felt like Bad Times, the El Royale, where the final confrontation is where all the intensity really comes from. Like, this movie builds up a lot, and everything pays off in the end with a great final showdown that you did not see coming. You wanted to see it, but you didn't know how it was going to happen. And then when it does, you're like, damn, that was a damn good movie. If you like Halloween, definitely check it out. If you're not a fan of Halloween, you're probably not going to like this unless you are a fan of suspense and tension, gripping at your seat, waiting to see what happens next. Another negative, though, is that there is something that happens towards the end with Loomis 2.0 that I kind of felt came out of left field, but upon thinking about it, maybe it didn't. I need to see the movie again to know for sure. I can tell you this, I will definitely be buying this on Blu-ray Ultra HD when it comes out. There's not much I can really say without diving into spoiler material. So Halloween gets a 9 out of 10 stars. Until next time, bye.